What's up, everybody? This is IcePick13 here with a video talking about the next iteration of the Battlefield games. Now, this isn't typically the kind of video that I make on the regular on this channel. Usually you just make Let's Plays, highlight videos, stream highlights, things like that. But as a fan of the Battlefield series, I was very excited for the reveal today, and the reveal blew me the fuck away. I was very, very impressed with what I had to see with this trailer. And I wanted to just talk about it a little bit, just because I did notice a few things and maybe talk about some wish list items, so to speak. So let's go ahead and just get into it. So the setting does appear to be like a precursor to the events that kicked off 2142 a little bit. The title is Battlefield 2042, so there could be a little bit of correlation there. Maybe just a throwback to the first game's title, Battlefield 1942. That was a World War II shooter. So we're definitely looking at a near future setting. And we're also going to be seeing things like strange and severe weather, presumably decimating cities, as we see a little bit later in the trailer. If there's anything with this game's lore, we may start seeing like different factions fighting for control over livable spaces as well as like resources that they harbor. So we'll have to see how that plays out. The weather effects changing mid-match it's not really new, but the way that they're implementing this from what it looks like in the trailer, it definitely is. This can add an element of dynamics that sets it apart from the usual Levolution set pieces. Like if we're talking about Battlefield 4, King Dam, when the dam breaks apart and the rubble goes everywhere. The thing about that is that these kinds of set pieces are heavily scripted and play out mostly the same way every game. They're the same thing, they're in the same spot. You trigger the event, it's going to play out the same way, kind of like how one of the Battlefield 4 maps had that huge tower and it just crumbles into the same like pile of like carnage and debris every fucking time. Kind of like that. Having the possibility of storms affecting parts of the map, specific parts of the map, like a tornado, could show up anywhere, right? So like you could have the typical Levolution set pieces, like a building going down, or like we see in the trailer, like part of a ship just coming apart. But if you're gonna have like a tornado show up in the middle of the game, you can make it spawn pretty much anywhere. So you never know where that tornado, if it gets triggered, is gonna show up, which I think is pretty cool if they implement it that way. Now, as far as the vehicles showcased in the trailer, mostly vehicles that you've come to expect with a modern military shooter, like Ospreys, hovercrafts, quad bikes, tanks, etc. Though it does look like you'd be able to drive some select civilian vehicles as well, like that little smart car looking thing you see right before or during the tornado event. The game looks like it will also implement wingsuits. So if you're vertically inclined to jump off of buildings or cliffs, and basically anywhere with a high altitude, you'll have a wingsuit to fall back on. Though I don't know if that means that we're not going to see parachutes anymore, or if the wingsuit is going to be like a class specific item or not. For that, we'll just have to wait and see what happens when the game comes out. But it does kind of introduce some not necessarily new insertion tactics, but you know, just kind of throwing it out there. You could get into a helicopter and back cap somebody, you know, just everybody dropping out of the chopper with their wingsuits and then going in that way. So we'll have that to work with, which I think is pretty cool. I did that shit all the time in Battlefield Vietnam. I don't know if anybody remembers that game, but I drank Valley every time, load up the Huey, and just tell everybody to jump out over points. It was my favorite thing to do. Some smaller things to note based on what we've seen so far in this trailer. It looks like the backstab mechanics coming back along with dog tag collections. I mean, it was kind of blatantly obvious when that dude just kind of stabbed that guy and then held up his dog tag. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see this come back with 2042. Now, in that like same scenario, we kind of get a good look at one of the soldiers' like kit a little bit from the back, and it looks like he has a rope. I'm just kind of, this is like wish listing here basically, but it'll be cool to see like some rappel mechanics get introduced into to Battlefield, because I don't think there's been a Battlefield, at least not one that was like multiplayer centric. I think there might have been some cutscenes or campaign events where you were rappelling down somewhere, but it'd be cool to see this rappel mechanic get introduced into Battlefield. So like you have the whole large scale battle thing going on, like other parts of the maps are going off, but let's say you and your guys want to go ahead and try and take over a small building. You could rappel from the roof and then kind of Rainbow Six Siege your way in there, throw flashes, kind of like swing in through the window. That would be kind of cool if we could see something like that, but that would also have to like make the game a little bit more slower paced, or maybe find a way to use the rappel faster, because I've noticed like a lot of these Battlefield games are getting more and more quick. They're getting quicker. I don't know if anybody understands what I mean when I say that, but it's just faster paced, more or less. So unless they kind of bring it down a little bit, then the rappel mechanic, if it's even in there, I don't know. It might not be used that much if that's the case, but definitely something to keep in mind, I guess. The trailer also showcased most of these scenarios with a lot of soldiers in close proximity to each other, which if you play Battlefield, at least from what I've seen, doesn't really happen all that much unless you're playing like Metro or Operation Locker, where most of the map is congested indoor environments. However, we're looking at a confirmed maximum of 128 players per match, so this may not be too far-fetched. Also, there's a robot combat dog towards the beginning of the trailer. Kind of reminded me of the Boston Dynamics robot dog, if anybody remembers that. If I recall correctly, these kinds of machines are being tested to help the military. I think it's just kind of like a pack mule kind of thing, just carrying gear through the battlefield. Though I guess we're kind of starting to see them weaponized in Battlefield 2042. Desperate times, right? Lastly, I just want to mention that this trailer's music and sound design is top notch. The music felt like the music intended, which I absolutely loved, so that was really cool for me. And the sound in general felt like it was a movie. You know, watching these with headphones, everything popped. I felt the explosions. I felt the music. It was super cool. These trailers have really come a long way since, like, I guess the Battlefield 2 small combat intro, if anyone remembers that. You can find it on YouTube. It's so cool to see how far these games have come with like their gameplay and the trailers. The only thing that really hasn't changed is the game engine footage type of disclaimer there. I feel like that's a Battlefield staple, to be honest. All right, and that's about it for the trailer. I did want to talk a bit about what I would like to see from the next iteration of Battlefield. Really just two things. One, the first thing is a competent battle royale. I know a lot of people, especially a lot of Battlefield fans, are not really BR people, and I get it, but let's face it, the current gaming climate is very BR centric. I mean, that's kind of where all the money is. That's like where Fortnite gets all of its money, and that's where Warzone gets a lot of their money. And I feel like it would be a good idea for DICE to implement their own take on Battle Royale. That's not Firestorm. I did not like Firestorm when it came out, and to this day I still haven't played it that much, mostly I guess because I couldn't really find populated servers. Maybe I was just looking at a bad time. Not really a fan of Battlefield 5 to begin with, but I feel like we definitely need to see ABR with the next Battlefield. I feel like it's going to be a no-brainer. I feel like that's going to generate revenue for DICE. But alongside that, I would love to see a 50v50, or since we're working with 128 player count, a 64v64. But I'll just say 50v50 because it's easier to say. The reason for this, now don't crucify me, is because Fortnite had a 50v50 game mode for a while. So you had two teams, 50 players each. It was like a battle royale when you dove in, looted. Once you're dead, you're out. And it was the first team to eliminate the other would win. I fucking loved that so much. It was so fun. Even like, I don't play Fortnite anymore just because I hate the building, and I would much rather play like Apex or Warzone as far as battle royales go. But it was really, really fun. And I've been really fiending for a 50v50 like that. Now, as far as the battle royale goes, what I feel would help set it apart, not only would it be like have your traditional battle royale, solos, duos, trios, and quads, or maybe even 6-man teams, who knows? I have a lot of friends that like to play battle royales, and I can't cram everybody into a single squad because of the 4-player limit, whatever. I'm getting off track. What I'm trying to say here is that you could put a twist on the battle royale thing with a 50v50 that's objective based on top of just being your traditional battle royale. So let me say this: 64 versus 64, you dive in, loot, you die, you're out, right? first team to eliminate the other wins. However, there is also going to be an objective you're both fighting over, like a piece of intel, a briefcase, something. It doesn't matter what it is, but you go in, you grab that item. The team that extracts with that item at a random extraction point would then win the match. So there's 2 win conditions, elimination or extraction, right? I feel like that would be really fun because like not only do you have large scale battles happening, but you're also trying to accomplish an objective. And I feel like there would be a lot of team play that could be implemented in that. So like you could also say, oh, that's just regular Battlefield. And yeah, it kind of is. But you have the large player lobbies. You could include it as part of like the free Battle Royale suite, kind of like how Warzone has Plunder, right? And it's just another way to play the game. And I feel that would work very well for Battlefield, especially when you're trying to, implement more team-oriented gameplay styles or gameplay modes. Now, the second thing, I'm trying to keep this as short as I can because I've been going off for a while, are Titans. I would love to see Titans come back. And for the uninitiated, I'm not talking about like Titanfall, like the giant mechs. I'm talking about Battlefield 2142's giant-ass ships. Titans, right? And I would love to see Titan Conquest come back in some form. If you don't know what I'm talking about, because I know there's a lot of people that haven't played 2142, basically what a Titan is that big ass ship, and it would hover over the map. Each team would get one, and this is the Titan Conquest game mode, by the way. You would traditionally go through the Conquest thing in just capturing points, but each point would have these rockets that would shoot towards the opposing team's Titan to get their shields down. Once the shields were down, you were able to board that Titan by either getting like dropped in through like an aircraft or getting launched from an APC. You would board, destroy some specific points. I think they were reactors. It's been years. It's like over a decade since I played it. Destroy these points to destroy the Titan, and then you and your boarding party would get out of there before it went down. And that was so fun to play. And I would love to see something like this come back, but I mean, this is just a wish list item. I don't think it's going to happen. But we did see like a multiplayer map in Battlefield 4, right? Where they were building a Titan. So I don't know if that was just like an Easter egg thing or what. You could have Titan Conquest come back. You can even, if there's a campaign, you can have the Titan be like a climax point, like an Act 2 ending type of thing. And then have Act 3 be like you taking down the Titan. I don't know. It's a big wish list item, but I'm holding on to hope it'll come back in some shape or form. I would love to see this back in Battlefield. It's been too long. And that's all I got. Thank you for checking out the video. Hit that like button if you liked it, dislike if you didn't. Subscribe for more and follow me on Twitch and Twitter. I do stream on Twitch every now and again, and I go insane and have mental breakdowns on Twitter. So follow me if you want to see more of that. If you'd like to see any more videos like this, please let me know down in the comments below, or just tell me how hyped you are for the next Battlefield. Thanks once again, and I'll catch you next time.